Alright. What's up, guys? Been a while since we made a video on Tesla. So we're gonna talk about Tesla a little bit, what to watch for the next few weeks, next few months, some technical analysis and some options flow, mainly some interesting flow to follow and explaining what the big money is actually doing with the stock. And also we're going to look at some options chains and I'll give you a few of my insights on what's going to happen next and some interesting development with Tesla from the options side of things. Obviously, Tesla is the highest traded stock through options in the market. So it's a huge market mover. It's a very volatile stock historically. So beyond the company itself and the fundamental part of it, there's also a huge part which is just based on options activity and options flow. Now, first of all, no one in flow trading, me myself, I'm not a financial advisor, not a tax advisor. Nothing I should say should be taken as any type of financial advice. All I talk about is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research and your own DD, and you're responsible for your portfolios just like each one of us in flow trading responsible to their own. Now let's get into it. First of all, in the last few videos, guys, I talked about what happened back in 2021 before the squeeze. Then I talked about what happened the bearish spreads that entered here at the top of September 2022. And then I also talked about how we kind of, I don't like to use the word predicted because no one can predict the future, but why we expected a big squeeze in January 2023 and another one in May and June 2023. Again, just for the record, my style is more swinging Tesla. So whether it's for the downside, whether it's for the upside, not trying to time tops or bottoms, I'm trying to ride big trends on Tesla. So as I've said, you guys know it if you follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. My at is This Is Orlando. Again, This Is Orlando. That's my at. You can, I'll just link my X link, Twitter link in the comment section, and also the Flow Trading USA, guys. This is the last week for our free trial that we have, 3-day free trial. If you want to try it out, only if this seems relevant for you, kind of more a long-term mindset, patient trading, long-term investing, an amazing community of like-minded minds that just follow markets daily, follow flow, talking about trading ideas, investing ideas, and analyzing markets together. Now, guys, this is very interesting, and it's a very crucial part on Tesla right now. First of all, the market said I'm making this video, it's Sunday, November 5th. The market has been squeezing in the past few days, right? Kind of the melt up in the market, especially small caps, and especially a lot of the quote unquote underperforming sectors that kind of show us strength. You could see real estate, banks, all of those shorted stocks, which also gives us an immediate indication for Tesla being such, as I've said, heavily, not only options traded stock, but historically it's a very heavily shorted stock. And historically shorts got it wrong, right? They got squeezed. Now I want to talk about a few things here technically quick, and then I'm going to move on talking flow. So first of all, white trend line, anyone who's watching Tesla, you should add this one. All-time high, very simple. We had a touch here back in beginning of November 2021, then another one here in January 2022, another touch here April 2022. You can see strong rejection every time we touch this white trend line. Then another one here at the top of the rising wedge, which I also talked about on X, posted about it in July 2023. So again, this is something very interesting and very important to watch. If you're playing upside on Tesla, you want to see what happens at this level if it gets there, and so forth. Second one is going to be the red trend line beginning April 2022 highs. Then another touch at September 2022, which is the last YouTube video we made here on the channel. You guys can check it out. Explained exactly what were the bearish spreads, the bear spreads that entered here in September 2022. And look what happened price action after. Huge downside, right? Someone always knows. They opened this huge position, rolled basically bearish spreads, and that led to a ton of downside in Tesla stock. And what's interesting here with this trend line, right after the rejection here, is that after the squeezes in January and in May and June 2023, we had this level, same red line, acting as support. August OPEX, August 18 basically. Basically, it's where we popped, decent upside, but then we kept bleeding down after the bearish spreads and bounced from the same red trend line again. So again, this is just some trend lines to add. You can also add obviously this one, top of the rising wedge from July 19th, a touch here September 19th, a touch on October 9th. And again, I know it seems like a lot of lines, but these are very important kind of, it's really how Tesla moves historically. And when I'll show you right now the flow, you'll see how everything is adding up. Quick one for anyone who likes Fibonacci. Obviously, we're, as I've said, in a downtrend right now from all-time highs. Still, I know it looks like it won't stop, but it's still a downtrend. And that's why I created an uptrend inside the downtrend. So beginning 2023, I took Fib retracements to July 2023. You guys can see golden pocket reversal here beautifully in March. Broke below it, kind of a spring for Wyckoff lovers here. But again, reversed beautifully. And as I talked about in the last video I made here as well, May, we expected a nice upside. And look at this beautiful May and June squeeze that we had. Okay? So again, golden pocket reversal here. And you can see that we respect it. 0.382, it's where it reversed. Same thing here, 0.5 reversed, but now touched 0.382. So follow this as support and resistance if you like it also short term. Now, I'm going to delete the Fib just to kind of make the chart cleaner. And we're going to talk flow. Now, this might sound a bit more complicated for some, but yeah, try to bear with me here. First of all, the huge, so this is still 4-hour chart. Okay, I'm zooming in from August 2023 to where we at right now. Okay, so a few months. The bearish spreads, the bear spreads that entered right at the top of this head and shoulders, right? And kind of a broken one, but you know what I mean. This one looks like a head and shoulders, so then it popped a little bit, trap, bull trap, boom, crushed. So the bear spreads entered at the top of this head. Okay, and that's why we knew that something that we can't be bullish unless it claims it, or unless this dude's going to roll their position or open a new one. They opened this position and look at the downside. So again, this is from September 14th, literally the top. You guys can see. I'll use unusual wealth for this one. September 14th. What you can see here is basically huge amount of money, $65.5 million, $130.4 million each leg. So again, that's a huge trade, over 200 and something million dollars. These were actually short calls into November OPEX, right? That were opened here. You guys can see September 14th. Let me show you even here on the OI, historical volume and OI. This is the one, September 14th. You see the volume, 24,000, yep. And then basically OI open interest went up from 6,900 noise to 30,000 open interest. So these are short calls at the bid, below bid actually the trade was. And that's it. They closed it back here on October 30th. So huge bearish basically position, shorting calls, selling calls, closed it on October 30th. You see? That's where they closed it, literally the bottom. After this one more sell-off here, and now Tesla is trending upside. Okay, that's where we at right now. Now the newest big flow that entered is this. Now this is very interesting. For me, it's like watching a movie. It starts, I feel like there's two big players that are just kind of fighting on Tesla. Maybe a short player, a long player, maybe just delta hedgers, so they don't care about price action. Market makers are liquidity providers, right? So they're just opening positions to head the chain, options chain, but whatever. Back to this. This one is from October 23rd, and I'm not gonna dive too much into it, but it's a roll as well. It's bullish basically. They just rolled the position, the 200 for November, and about 200 for February, so it can lead to upside. Okay, it can still lead to upside. And then this was the newest one, October 30th. For me personally, again, this is why I don't like Tesla in this range. Look how it looks. I'm waiting for a big next big player to enter. Okay, either the huge spreads we talked about, the bullish ones that created the squeezes back here, or the bearish spreads. And sometimes it's not going to be exactly at the top, like here, the bearish spreads in here, or the bullish exactly at the bottom, to be fair. Sometimes it's going to be a bit before. But we just got to keep following price action and technicals and just, you know, follow the flow, especially. Now, these were 190 calls below bid for January 2024 OPEX. Looking at the 60 days here, it looks like they're literally timed bottom. So you could say maybe, okay, let's look at the 7 days now. This is the chart of the contract. Okay, so the yellow line, guys, is the chart of the 190 calls for January 2024, which again, as you can see here, looking at the volume, 34,000 on October 30th, which is here when I have this dotted line, the orange line, right? This is where this trade was opened. How do I know it's an opening trade? Again, open interest was only 3,000. Now it's 36,000. It went up 33,000. Open interest is the amount of contracts being held by market participants at any point of time. It could be long options, short options, doesn't matter. It's someone that holds the position. So for me, they timed bottom, right? I mean, it looks bearish. That's why I like to wait a few days, a few weeks to keep analyzing the flow, keep following it. So it looks bearish because it's below bid, but they kind of timed bottom, right? So you say maybe they got a heck of a good price below bid, or maybe they're just hedged, right? Maybe these are the same dudes that opened this bullish position into February. So maybe what they want to see here is upside a little bit, but big time downside into end of year, and then more upside. Okay, but the reason this is interesting is because we gotta follow this trade. It's a big one. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you quick the January OPEX, and I know, guys, that this is getting a bit more complicated, but you can watch it a few times. You can feel free to ask questions in the comments here or on X, or obviously, guys, if you're in the flow trading Discord, we're gonna talk about it daily as always on VC streams, and keep following flow and posting flow. But this is going to be also something I really want to talk about. So these are options chains. January 2024 OPEX. Again, OPEX is options expiration. And quick explanation for anyone who doesn't know, guys. Left side, that's from thinkorswim. Okay, so left side is calls, right side is puts. Purple means that it's in the money. The options are in the money. Black means they're over the money. Okay. Now, something very interesting is happening with options. The way over the money put options are actually rising in value. Again, long story short, this is a volatility smile. This is where the over the money strikes and the in the money strikes have higher IV than the closer to the money. Again, this was a bit more complicated. I know, guys. I don't know, which one of you guys that watch my videos, how much you know and how much you understand what I'm saying, but let me try to end this video with a pretty basic approach here. Okay, the reason this is very interesting is this. This is January 2024 options expiration. Okay, now you can always kind of look at the options chain and say, okay, there's a lot of open interest here, so it's bullish. Not necessarily. You want to see what the volume was, what the actual volume was. Maybe short calls, maybe it's long calls. So it's very important to understand what the open interest is, what the volume is, buyers, sellers, and obviously always combine it, the flow with technical. This is literally the cheat code, as many call it, right? Like combining options flow, combining it with technical analysis, combining it with the macro as well. That's how we do it, at least at flow trading. Flow trading Discord, we're not trying to just bash one method and and use only one. Not at all. We follow macro all the time. We do macroeconomics as well. We try to follow overall markets, emerging markets. It's all part of the same story. Crypto, foreign currencies, it's all market cycles, and everything can help to better read markets when you kind of embrace and stay open minded. So I went a bit off topic here, but I feel like it was an important point. And again, the reason this is interesting is this. This is Tesla, and as I've said, volatility smile means that the market is pricing over the money puts now more. So it might show us that we have expected volatility to the downside around January 2024. And that's very important to remember, anyone watching this video. Don't go to perma bull or perma bear on a stock like Tesla if you're trading it for the few weeks, months, you know, let's say a few weeks to the 6 months period, kind of like how I do it. If you're a long-term holder, more power to you. Not talking about this. If you're a long-term short player, again, I like to hear everyone. I don't mind any position that you have, but I always root for long. So if you're short Tesla, I won't be surprised if you'll eventually get squeezed again, because you guys are too stubborn historically with this stock. But okay. Now, again, the reason this is very interesting, the January OPEX, is because the same flow I just talked about, right? We have the 190 calls, which are here. You see this one? Where are we at? Boom. This is the 190 calls right here, the 36,586 open interests. These were potentially short calls, which means they sold this position, which is bearish, but they have time into January 2024. Okay, January 19th to be exact. Which means our dudes here, for now, they're going to hedge the chain and keep buying the stock to hedge these ones and hedge the 200 calls that are in the money, which means Tesla can show you some upside. Okay, and I'm not talking about, again, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. I don't care about this type of move. That's just personally not how I trade and approach Tesla. What I want to see is Nov OPEX. Nov OPEX is going to be Nov 15th, right? November 17th. So November 17th is, yeah, Nov OPEX, options expiration. To me, we're going to see something very interesting in the next 2 weeks. So that's exactly the time to watch. If Tesla is consolidating or going up, but I see accumulation of puts, and guys, I'll keep posting on Discord, obviously, as always. But if anyone follows me on X, I'll also try to post if I see anything unusual. But that's basically what's on watch, okay? You want to see this channel of the two trend lines that I talked about. This one is from the top of the rising wedge, rejected here, rejected here. Look what happens here if the next week, 2 weeks, showing you consolidation or upside, but you see that the short calls are still holding, Tesla is probably going to go down big time. Okay, at the end of the year, beginning of 2024, don't know exactly when. Okay, it obviously depends on a lot of things, but we gotta F around to find out. Okay, so even if I do a kind of a downtrend cycle, the latest one, maybe, yeah, maybe the 240 area, 240 something, if we can push to the upside, maybe that's a rejection, or obviously we might just go down. But I don't trust Tesla here short term personally, which is why I said what I said right now. They're still holding the short calls, but we can still see short term upside because they'll hedge the in the money calls. All right, so as long as they're holding this position, I'm just following it, watching, only watching for now. If I see that they're still holding and the contract starting to lose value, which means going down, then I say, okay, there's a reason they held it. They're bearish into January 19th options expiration. And once I see a bit of a reversal, we might also see a bit of puts, sweepers, and some bearish spreads that are more directional spreads rather than just rolling position. There are a lot of different types, right? Diagonals, calendars, again. If it was that simple that everyone would do it, and it's not that simple. That's why I also don't like to trade it too much, only the big moves. But again, guys, we're about to see a big move on Tesla. I don't care which side it's going to be. Someone's going to get squeezed. One of the big players is going to get squeezed. So we'll try to go along with a big player. Again, I believe that if they still hold the position into 2024, this is going to be a bearish move into end of year, maybe beginning of the year, in January 2024, right? And obviously, the big thing to watch right now is also the market sentiment, which has been melting up in the past few days. So you want to see Tesla might show you a lot of strength, but if puts are still accumulating big time puts and you see the sentiment is shifting, with a lot of big positioning, and then boom, if you see this type of spread, the time to top, or the type of spread we saw in September 2022, then yeah, this is getting bearish. Okay guys, so again, summarizing in terms of technicals, for anyone who's watching technicals, you guys want to watch the Fib retracement from the bottom of January 2023 to the highs of the rising wedge, which was July 20th, 2023. That's kind of price levels to watch short term, and these are the channels that I talked about. Okay, the trend lines. In terms of the flow, as I've said, we got the roll from November to February, and we got the huge short calls 190 position for January 2024, January 19th. Very important to kind of keep analyzing this one and keep watching the flow. Again, Tesla in the past few months looked like this. I'm waiting for either a big sell-off, or maybe we'll even get a surprise and these dudes will be forced to close their position, or maybe a huge player will step in, kind of like these dudes, but with more just with more pressure to the upside, a different type of trade that maybe I'm going to really like, and we can squeeze to the upside. I like it. I would love to see squeeze to the upside, right? But for now, it's really going to be trusting the data, keep following options flow. Dark pools, by the way, alternative trading systems were also kind of active in the past 2 months. Not gonna talk about it much now because the video is already pretty long. But that's it, guys. That's it. I know it was a bit more complicated than usual this video, but I appreciate you, anyone who stayed along, and I hope you liked this video. Let me know if you did by liking the video. And feel free to comment here below or on X. Let me know what you guys think as well on Tesla here, and I'll keep posting. Let me know if you want more videos, because again, I'm only gonna make them if you guys want them. So yeah, that's it. Quick reminder again, guys, flowtradingusa.com, flowtradingusa.com, that's the website. I'm gonna link it below if you guys want to try us out. And that's it. Appreciate you guys for joining, and this is the way.